I found you from Beyonce Blackbird. You can't reveal that much about it.
I still feel surprised by it. So I did a cover of Drinking Alone, Carrie Underwood's song. Carrie Underwood posted it, and that...
Your cover? Now, you also mentioned America's Got Talent.
It's gonna be so funny to see people's responses to the performance and to the judges. And
Hi, it's Coco Mocoe. You are watching The Middle Row, and today we are saving a seat for Reyna Roberts and watching her music video, Miranda, while filming in the Spotify headquarters today, which is so exciting. In honor of that, you can listen to my official Middle Row playlist on Spotify. It is going to be linked down below. Every week, I'm going to update it with artists that I think are up and coming that are about to break big right before they do. And you can maybe see some hints at future episodes, future guests. Comment down below what artists you want to see next. Hello.
hi.
Thank you for coming on, and we're going to be watching your music video for Miranda.
This is gonna be so awesome. I'm excited.
And for those of you guys watching, I'm sure you know, but this is Reyna Roberts.
Hi.
So we're going to get into like your backstory, Beyonce, America's Got Talent, all of that stuff, but I wanted to first start with the snacks because the best part of being at the theaters
It's definitely mostly the snacks and then the movie.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you go to eat snacks and have an excuse. So, Bunch of Crunch, you mentioned these. Is there like, I feel like it's so specific. Why?
I don't know. I've always been obsessed with Bunch of Crunch. Every time I go to the movies, this is my go-to snack. My family will be like, "You want to try something else? Because this is all you've been eating since you could go to the movie theater." I'm like, "No, I just want to stick with these ones."
Oh my gosh. I actually, because like if you guys see, they have a photo on the back where you put it in popcorn, and I did that at the movies.
How was it?
It was
good?
pretty good.
It was good.
It was like salty and sweet, so it wasn't bad. And then, okay, so here's the story. So I ordered us red Slurpees.
I love red Slurpees.
Yeah, so her manager was like, "Oh, she loves red Slurpees," and I didn't want to get it like on my way to the theater because we're at Spotify, and I was like, "All right, I'm getting here early to set up." Like, you know how they like separate?
Yeah, and it's not as good if you drink it like an hour later. Like
Exactly. You need it like fresh.
Yeah.
And so I ordered it on Uber Eats like right before you arrived, and I'm like, "Oh, why is it like an hour ETA?"
Yeah.
So I live in Long Beach, and they had this poor guy pick up the Slurpees in Long Beach.
And bring it all the way here.
Yes, and drive in like rush hour traffic. For anyone not from LA, it's like over an hour.
That's a long time.
Yes, and I felt so bad, so I just messaged the guy. I was like, "Hey, like, I'm so sorry. You can just keep them.
Yeah,
like,
just
don't drive. Like, I'm so sorry."
Keep the Slurpees going.
Yeah, so we didn't have Slurpees, but then we did have some sour strips. So
this makes up for it. My wild cherry.
Yeah, the cherry matches, and I have appleberry. So
Appleberry cherry.
you also mentioned your manager, but it's like everything that can go wrong will go wrong. AMC brownie Sundays, but AMC theater was closed because we're filming at like 9.
That's okay, because I don't need brownies right now anyway.
True, yeah.
Even though it sounds nice and I love brownies, but I'm just like, oh, that's probably a good thing actually at this point.
Yeah, like maybe it's early. Okay, good. Then it worked out. I want to get into your background. I feel like there's so much to cover because like you've been doing this for a long time, but it's like so much happened. It was like just like a spark overnight.
It feels like, I mean, I've been singing and like I recorded my first song when I was like 16. So I was in high school. So it's like I've been doing it for 10 years, but I feel like that's also sometimes the amount of time some artists might need to find themselves to get their team together and everything that they need to be who they need to be. So
I love this saying, and I'm not the first one who said it, but I say it a lot. It takes 10 years to be an overnight success.
It's so interesting. That's what I hear all the time. And at first I was like, oh, I don't like that because the idea of waiting 10 years. But I think there's a difference between like waiting and then working like, you know, majority of your life for these moments to happen and for things to like almost explode and feel like it's overnight. So yeah, it's been a journey.
Yes. And so like going back before music, I read online that you were born in Alaska.
Yeah.
Was that true? And like, so being born in Alaska and then moving around, like how did you get into outlaw country? Like what was that?
What was that like?
Yeah.
How did that happen?
How did you find that?
Honestly, like I've listened to all genres of music growing up. So my parents played rock, they played country, they played trap, they played classical, Spanish music, blues. They played all the things. So for me, all those genres live in me. And as I was writing songs and finding out who I was as an artist, I was like, a lot of these songs are country songs. Like I should just be singing what I'm writing and what I'm in love with. So, and I call my music either outlaw country or country plus, which is country music, but it's like it's plus hip hop plus pop and rock and all the things that I love put all together in one sound.
And you really like got a break. It was when you were on like Monday Night Football.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, how did you get that? Because I feel like that's already such a big break. And as a newer artist, like how did that kind of manifest? Yeah.
Honestly, I was doing covers. I do not like doing covers, but I was like, okay, I got to start doing it. I need to work on social media because that's the thing I've always been. I'd spent the least amount of time doing. So I did a cover of Drinking Alone, Carrie Underwood's song, and Mickey Guyton and Carrie Underwood posted it. And that
your cover?
Yeah, they posted my cover, and so that helped a lot in so many different ways. They were kind enough to put me on their platforms, and I got a lot of exposure. So I got like ESPN, Rolling Stone, Stagecoach, I think, all within like a short amount of time.
Wow.
And then shortly after that, Reba went on tour with Reba, so all that stuff kind of felt like it was happening. I think within the same year or year and a half or so. That was 2020 and 2020, 2021.
And then I found you from Beyonce Blackbird, and so I know like you can't reveal that much about it, which I am totally understanding. Like that's such a sacred thing. But like the number one thing I was wondering is like, where were you the moment you saw your name? Like you open up Spotify and you see Reyna Roberts on like one of the first songs of Beyonce's album. Like, were you in the car? Were you like in bed? Like, were you?
No, it was my family and I. We were all in the kitchen, and I think it was like 11 p.m. In Nashville or around that time. It was me, my mom, my dad, my bonus dad, and we were just like, oh my goodness, okay. And then we played it, and we're like, oh no, you can hear my voice. Like this is incredible. And it was like. I still feel surprised by it, like in some way. Honestly, I prayed about it like in November, like I'm not kidding. I was like, hey Lord, can you please put me on a song with Beyonce?
Oh my God,
like literally, and I have a whole list of things that I pray for like every day. And it's amazing like what I prayed for in November, December, 5-6 months later, a lot of those things are happening in my life. And so on one hand it was not surprising because I knew it was coming to me. I just didn't know it would be this soon in my career. But at this, I was just like, oh my goodness, it's happening.
And you prayed for that before the public or really anyone even knew Beyonce would go from like the dance house music to country. Like, that's such even just that prayer alone is like, you wouldn't even think she would make that jump yet.
I honestly, I had no idea she was going to, I didn't know she was going to do country music, but I know like what I create and the music I create, and she's always been like my biggest inspiration. And so I was like, I don't know how this is going to happen. I know it will happen. I don't know if it's going to be years later or like what that's going to look like, but I'm believing for it and I know it's going to come to me. I just didn't know it was going to be this soon and in this way.
What has been like the biggest thing that you've noticed change since Beyonce kind of opened this door for you? Like obviously like maybe more interviews like this. Is there anything else just day to day that you feel like is different now?
Everything.
Wow.
I mean, the awesome thing is before the Beyonce album, so I was doing like, articles like Rolling Stone, Billboard, and all those things, and was going on tour, and a lot of things were coming together. But this took things to a different level, and now I'm having a lot more opportunities. There's like working with brands, working on TV shows outside of AGT, and just doing new things that I've been praying for my whole life, and now they're actually starting to come to fruition. But my goal has never really been to be a country star specifically. My goal has always been to be a superstar, doing whatever genre that I love, and I feel like I'm on that path now. Like I'm starting to rise, and that vision is starting to come to life. So slowly but surely.
Wow. And something I love about that is like, for me, my background is in like marketing and the internet. And something I just love is how I feel like the internet obviously it's still difficult, but it's allowed artists to not necessarily be put in a box.
Yeah.
Whereas, like,
sure.
maybe in the past, the record label would be like, okay, or the radio plays would be like, we'll only put you on, radio rotation if you stick to this sound.
Yeah.
And that's where you would get one-hit wonders. But, like, now people can kind of explore. And something that stood out to me when I heard Blackbird and, like, all of the amazing artists on the album, but, like, you have very strong branding with, like, the red hair. Something I always talk about in my videos is, like, I have this theory, like Hollywood hair theory, where anyone who like becomes a household name at some point, they have like really iconic hair, like Amy Winehouse, The Weeknd. Like it's always like Ice Spice, like with the orange curly hair at one point. Like, how did you get into this red branding?
It's so funny. I wrestled in high school.
Oh my!
And there's a tradition where you get to a certain like point, you go to a specific tournament and you dye your hair blonde. And I put in like blonde weave, and I was like, oh my goodness, I want to try different colors. So then I tried like purple and turquoise and all these other colors. And I got to red, and I don't even know at what point the whole thing became red. But I've had red hair for maybe like, I want to say at least 6 years. But I felt like I love for the branding of who my persona is and how I want to be portrayed to other people. Like I want to represent like fire and someone who's like strong, badass, powerful, all those things. And I feel like that's what the red hair makes me feel like. And so I was like, I'm gonna have red hair until I can probably walk into any room and people know who I am for the most part. And then I might change it to a different color, but this is like a staple and some part of my identity now at this point.
Yeah, like even when I saw you like on stage with the other artists who did Blackbird and everything, but it was like the red hair like really stood out to me. And now you also mentioned America's Got Talent, which like so serendipitous. We're filming this on the morning and then your episode goes out later tonight.
Right.
What was that like? Did that opportunity come before Beyonce's album?
It did. It came, I think, like in December. And so I was like, okay, this is something that I want to do. I want America to hear my voice. And my goal has always been to reach people also outside of country music. I want to reach people who also don't even listen to country music and reach those audiences. And I knew that this was a great opportunity to make that happen. And so I was like, yes, let's do it. Filmed it. And then it's going to be so funny to see like just people's responses to the performance and to the judges in the episode. Obviously, like I experienced it, but I haven't seen any of it. So I'm like, oh my goodness, I hope it's great. I'm praying that it's going to be all the things it needs to be. So yeah, I'm excited to see it tonight.
It's so scary. Like mine's not even on the same level as AGT. Like, but even if I go on someone else's podcast, I just have to like surrender. Like I'm like their audience might not know me, or like the edit might be different, which is fine. Like I stand by everything I said, but you just never know.
Just don't know.
Yeah,
it's like you're not in control. I'm used to being in control of what is put out, like all my photo shoots, video shoots, etc. I'm usually editing them, or somebody that's known me for like I don't know 6-7 years edits them. People I'm close to, and so it's. Since I don't have any control over it, I'm like, oh my goodness, I hope I was great, but we'll see what it looks like. But yeah, I'm like, I don't have control in this.
But like, I also feel like sometimes that makes the audience like someone even more because like they have to show up vulnerable. Yeah. Whereas like sometimes an audience might be a little distant to like jumping on someone's bandwagon if they're only seeing the things they've produced because they don't really know the person.
Yeah, that's fair.
Before we like get into your music video, what is something that you would like want someone to know about you if they're just discovering you today that they might not know on the surface? Like if you could jump through the screen and be like, know this about me before hearing my music.
That everything I'm doing is authentic and is genuinely who I am. I think a lot of times people have like a preconceived notion because of what they're used to seeing in certain genres, or just because of like the other artists they're used to seeing. But everything that I'm doing is really just me and expressing the art that's in my heart and just doing what I love. It's not fabricated, or it's not somebody else telling me what I should do. I definitely listen to other people's advice, but at the end of the day, I'm like, I'm creating what my vision is, and it's not somebody else like making it up.
Something else. Is there any project you've ever done where you like had a specific vision and maybe other people were like, no, that doesn't like make sense, or you can't bring that to life
all
and
the
you were
time.
able to do it?
Yeah, that happens to me all the time. I
Yeah.
feel like, and I hope it doesn't come across a certain way, but I feel like I'm a visionary, like in the things that I see is like beyond music, and what I want to create is also beyond music. So if I'm doing a music video or content shoot or photo shoot, everything that I'm doing is I thought about it already, and I'm directing all of those things. And people will be like, I don't know about that. That doesn't really make sense. I don't know how people will receive it. Well, I'm like, I'm trying my best to make what's like the vision that I want. And if people love it, then that's amazing. If they don't, that's okay, because not everybody's going to love what I do. But I'm not going to change my vision just because some people don't see it or don't like it.
Yes. No, I love it. And like, I guess now we're going to get into the music video, but I like one more question I wanted to ask is, was there like one song that you put out? This is like before Beyonce, AGT, all these opportunities, but was there one song that you put out where you felt like the tide was like moving in your favor and you're like, oh, this is like momentum?
Definitely. Louisiana. It's funny because I started that song probably like 5 years ago, and then I actually recorded it, I think maybe 2 years ago now. And it was just awesome to see like people gravitate towards it and it mean something to people. And a lot of people think that I'm from Louisiana, and I'm not. I just I had this story, like as a songwriter, I like to write stories that have nothing to do with me. I want to tell a story. And so I'm writing about this girl from Alabama and her experiences in life. Some parts of it are about my mom and her life, but a lot of the stories also like just fictional. And then I put my family's voices in. Sorry, I'm kind of going on. I put my family's voices in there.
That's what this is about. I love it.
And yeah, and I've seen like a lot of the viral moments that I've been having, and a lot of the traction and things that have been happening have been mostly from that song. So that's been really awesome and special.
Oh, I love that. Okay, great. And now, we're going to watch the video and then we'll break it down after.
I'm excited.
Is the Ring of Fire like a nod to Johnny Cash?
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I'll ask about that too.
It
I like that that bottle's like the star.
That's the main character.
Every time I see it, I'm always like, oh my gosh, how much is left?
I love this music video.
It's so good. Okay, so the video, Miranda, we were like chatting while watching it, but I want to ask some questions on here too. One, what is the song Miranda like? What is that a metaphor about?
Honestly, so I always had this idea to do like Miranda's Gunpowder and Lead, and then bring it into like Miranda rights. And so I wanted those two worlds brought together. And I had this photo shoot that I did with my friend Taylor Holder. We did the song called Another Round. And as I was looking for the photo that we did, I was like, oh my goodness, what would this story be like if we were like outlaws on the run? And I just wrote Miranda based on that photo.
Wow, on one like photo from your photo shoot?
Yeah.
One, I just want to know like how you cast everyone, but all of the comments were about like you and then the main guy.
Yeah.
And you said it was your friends?
Yeah, all of them were my friends. I wanted to make sure that there was diversity. All the people that I wanted to be in the shoot weren't able to make it, but I wanted to make sure like I have representation of everybody. And then Jennings, the lead. We've known each other for like 2 years, but his sister is Kendall Brower. Her and I wrote the song.
Oh.
And it was really awesome for him to come to the shoot, especially because I had casted one of my friends and he wasn't able to make it. And I think he told us like 2 days before or the day before. Oh. And I was like, oh my goodness, like what am I going to do? And I was like, Jennings, are you here? Can you please do this shoot with us? And he was like, of course, I got you. And it was like everything that I wanted it to be. So I'm really thankful for that. It
like worked out perfectly. And you said that it was in California somewhere. Did you guys just drive until you found a random location, or you had to like research?
No, I researched for weeks. I found it on Peerspace, and
love Peerspace.
I love Peerspace. I will like all my shoots and stuff. I go there to find them, and I like looked at all the different like spots that they had, and I was like, I'm in love with this location. It's the story that I want to tell, and it was like everything that I wanted it to be.
So the Ring of Fire, that's a nod to
Johnny Cash.
Okay.
Yeah, and we also in the bridge run on for a long time. Since I've always loved him singing that song. I was like, that'd be really awesome to do a Ring of Fire and reference Johnny Cash. And I love when people get it and they're like, okay, yay, she's bridging the both of the worlds, like country and then outside of country. I feel like hopefully when people watch that music video, they see influences of Johnny Cash, but of Beyonce and all the people that inspire me. And
Was that this might be a dumb question. I kept wondering, like, was that actual fire or was it CGI?
it was CGI.
Okay, wait, it looks so real. Because I was like, how is she
really
not
real.
like? I was like, one, how did she like get in the ring, or did they light it on fire after? Really?
I was like, guys, can we do like an actual Ring of Fire? And with the amount of time we had, we weren't able to do it. But I was like, I need this Ring of Fire. So it has to be CGI or something, because that's like a part of the whole branding and the imagery that I had in my head. But at first, I was like, let's put me in a Ring of Fire.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be in a Ring of Fire. But we had to do CGI, which was still great regardless.
No, it had me fooled because I was like, okay, like I was like, at one point you're in the Ring of Fire, and then I was like, how did the guy get in the ring? Like, did he jump like really quickly, or like it was so impressive? But
The storyline that you see is like, I want to say like 92% of like things that I created, and I also edited the video too. So
what?
Yeah, me and my friend Yo-Yo, I don't know how to actually edit, and so I took all of the footage. Like I went through all the footage, 8 hours worth of footage for like a week at least or something like that. I did all like my favorite clips, and then I went to TikTok and I like clipped them and pieced them together, just like how you're seeing it here. And then I went to Yo-Yo and I was like, Yo-Yo, I don't have the software and I don't know how to make this edit, but here's the exact edit that I want. And then I went, hung out with him in Maryland, and they're both in the music video, and he put like all the edits like that you're seeing. So,
wow, that is so cool. I nerd out about learning about like that kind of stuff, like how people brought it to life, and I love like the editing part. I know it's so
too.
Yeah, it's fun to see like I love editing whenever I have an idea and then you see it like on the computer like coming to life. It's like, oh my god,
it's
okay,
like,
now put this here, yes. Oh my gosh, amazing. Well, thank you so much.
No, thank you. This is incredible. I love everything about this. This is like a dream come true, because I've always wanted to be like, what would it look like later on in my career when I have music videos and we can look at them like through movie theater, like actually, like
that makes
genuinely.
That makes me so happy. Like the whole, like when I did this series, I'm like, I miss when like VH1 and like MTV would play music videos. Like I remember I used to see Rihanna's like Pond Day replay like over and over getting ready for school. And I'm like, I want to have like, so it makes me happy when artists enjoy like seeing their music videos.
Yeah, it's so special. It's like, I feel like people don't probably look at music videos the same as they used to, because there's so much content that comes out. But I'm like, this is special. We're celebrating like all the work and all the effort that was put into making the video.
Yes, and like also I guess you guys will know if you're watching, but we're watching it in Spotify too, which is
so awesome. I didn't even know Spotify had a theater. Yeah. And also thank you for letting us use your theater.
Yes, we love you, Spotify. Thank you guys so much for watching Middle Row with Coco Mocoe. Share it with a friend who loves music videos and new music just as much as we do. Comment down below artists that you want to see on upcoming episodes. Thank you again to Spotify for letting us use their space to film in. And I will link down below the Middle Row playlist on Spotify, where you can listen to my favorite up-and-coming artists that I think are about to break mainstream right before they do. And maybe I'll drop some hints at future episodes. Thank you guys. Bye.